A pleasant day to everyone. We are the Group 4 from 1bis and 9 and here to present the General System Theory.
General system theory is a general science of wholeness, meaning a somewhat mystical expression, constitutive characteristics are not explainable from the characteristics of the isolated parts. This will describes how to break whole things into parts and then to learn how the parts work together in systems. So, the parts are connected to the body and therefore work as one despite of their differences because the body cannot be functional without its parts since it is lacking or insufficient. Also, general system theory emphasizes holism over reductionism and organism over mechanism. From the word itself, holism in general, it takes things into general or all. It does not just focus on the individual. Foundational to general system theory is the interrelationships between elements that altogether form as a whole. So, there are factors that need to consider in an interaction which is the relationship of elements from the whole or the one.
General system theory introduced key concepts such as open and closed system. So, when we say open, it gives all opportunity and accepts all stressing role and importance of context and environment equifinality or the way system can reach the same goal through different paths and isomorphism or structural behavioral and developmental features that are shared across system. Also, general system theory positions itself as transdisciplinary rather than interdisciplinary. When we say transdisciplinary, it goes beyond what is given, which includes all the entities that are connected to all the disciplines that it tends to extend rather than the interdisciplinary word, which is just focused on one or two entities. Lastly, general system theory was generally interpreted to be equilibrium-oriented. When we say equilibrium-oriented, it proposes balance. Also, provides equal opportunity to all without bias, discrimination, or judgment, or all are accepted and no one is rejected. It is not self-centered but other-centered since it is transdisciplinary.
Ludwig von Bertalanffy was born in Vienna, Austria on September 19, 1901. He grew up as an only child in a family of notable scholars, educated at home by private tutors until the age of 10. He was already well habituated to learning by reading and he continued his study on his own. In 1918, Bertalanffy started his studies at the university level in philosophy and art history at the University of Innsbruck and at the University of Vienna. Bertalanffy had to make a choice between studying the philosophy of science and biology, and chose the latter because according to him, one could always become a philosopher later but not a biologist.
Between 1954 to 1955, he was a senior fellow at the Center for Advanced Study in Behavioral Sciences at Stanford. Next, he became the director of the Cancer Research Division of Mount Sinai Hospital in Los Angeles. Afterwards, he went as a visiting fellow to the Menninger Foundation in Topeka, Kansas, where he did some work on the problems of mental illness. In 1961, he returned to Canada as a professor of theoretical biology at the University of Alberta. In 1969, he left Alberta to join the staff of the newly formed Center for Theoretical Biology at the University of Buffalo, New York, where he died in 1972 due to a sudden heart attack.
Ludwig von Bertalanffy is credited as the founder of general system theory in 1928. Desired to find a general perspective that focused on the reciprocal relationship between individuals and their environment or mutual causation. Today, Bertalanffy is considered to be a founder and one of the principal authors of the interdisciplinary school of thoughts known as general system theory. In later years, he came to believe that the conceptual framework of general system theory, which was applicable to several disciplines, provided such as brain.
Metaparadigm, person, also referred as client or human being. For instance, when you hear the word person, it is not focusing on a specific individual or specific person. It also refers to a group, family, or community of people. In addition, nurses also involve providing care and treating clients who are groups or family. So this person is also one of the meta paradigm of nursing.
Health. The quality and well-being of the patient are referred to as their health. It also considers the patient's access to medical care.
Environment. It talks about what the patient or the persons around during recovery are, not just the place itself, but also the people he or she get along with. Nursing. When treating patient, nurses should not only be aware of the science and physiology underlying the condition, but also have genuine concern for the well-being of others. Components of systems. Input, process, and feedback. First is input, a material that enters the system. Second is process. It processes the system to convert the material. Third is output, is the information produced by a system or process for a specific input. Lastly is feedback, information given back into system to determine whether the purpose or end result of the system has been achieved.
Application to nursing. According to systems theory, the organization of a healthcare system affects patient safety and health. The improvement of patients' lives must be the primary focus of the entire system. It creates hypotheses on how to improve the effectiveness of the healthcare system that become practices. Von Bertalanffy introduced what is now known as general system theory in his fundamental work from 1969. This theory holds that system cannot be broken down into a collection of independent pieces. Rather, one must comprehend how these parts interact in
Order to comprehend the whole. Once again, we are Group 4 from 1 bis and 9, General System Theory. Thank you for listening.